everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a Dazzled or Disappointed for you on something that is no longer available at this time. However, the reason I am doing this review is because I do know that Colourpop tends to restock certain things a little bit down the road. So this is going to be on the Colourpop and Shayla collaboration. I did pick up the palette and the 3 lipsticks. Again, I did just check and it is sold out, but I again do know that Colourpop is kind of like Kylie Cosmetics. I've actually heard they pretty much use the same not factory, but I guess. And so they tend to restock once something has sold out. So that's the reason for this review. I'm going to bring to you the review for the eyeshadow palette as well as the 3 lipsticks. So if you're curious to see how this worked out for me, then just keep on watching. Okay, so let's go into, first of all, pricing and all that good stuff. So you know Colourpop to be super affordable, very affordable yet not sacrificing in quality. Now, I won't say it's my favorite brand for eyeshadows. I do think they are really great for the price tag, but there are others that I like more. Now, I really do like the Dream Street palette with Kathleen Lights. I was not super crazy. I wasn't a huge fan of the what was that called? She? Anyways, it's the ones with the roses on the cover and it's got like cranberry shades. That wasn't my cup of tea. And then I have, over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, bought my fair share of the Super Shock shadows. Love some of those. I just tend to not use them as much because they're in their little individual pots and I tend to use palettes more often. But first off, the packaging, I was drawn in right away. Second of all, Shayla is so good at what she does, and so I thought, okay, I'm gonna have to get my hands on that collaboration. So it made it, obviously with the price tag, it's a little bit easier to get your hands on some of these things to be able to try out. So the palette was $23, I believe, and then the lipsticks are $7 each, which I bought the bundle for $21. So I think I paid $44 for 3 lipsticks and an eyeshadow palette, which, if you know and you shop at Sephora, that is really unheard of. So the shadow palette does come with 16 pans of product, which is, I think, Colourpop's first time doing that because they tend to do the smaller palettes. I want to say that the Kathleen Lights palette was 12 shades total, which was 3 rows of 4. I could be wrong. But the total weight in this palette, you have 16 pans of product at 1.10 grams or 0.039 ounces. Made in the USA, and Colourpop is a cruelty-free brand. So let's open this bad boy up, and that way you can see what it looks like. This is probably my favorite packaging of any Colourpop release ever. I think it's really, I guess, aesthetically pleasing. Is that what it's called? It's really nice to look at. I love the purple. I love the matte black. I think it's just really, it looks more high-end. On the back, you do have the shade names, which I love because it means there's no plastic insert that I'm going to toss or that I'm going to end up losing with shade names. You do have a mirror, which is not typical for your Colourpop eyeshadow palettes. So that's kind of nice if that is a make it or break it for you. And then on the inside, you have the 16 pans of product. I also love that the backsplash of this, where the pans are, it mirrors the same packaging as the front, which is kind of cool. So let's go ahead and go into the swatches for these pans of eyeshadow. I will zoom you in so you can see what I'm wearing on my eyes today, and then I'll take you into the lipsticks and then final thoughts. Okay, the first 4 are Unbothered, TF, Titus, and Stallion. And that's what those look like right there. For the second row, we have Spill the Tea, Diva, IE, and 14. Pigmentation to these is very, very rich. Third row consists of Strut and Slay, Culture, Sassy, and September. And these are one swipe swatches across my hand for pigmentation purposes. Last row, we have Revenge, Thick, Played Out, and Shade. And the color Shade has some red flecks of glitter within the formula. Not sure if you're going to be able to see it. I think you can. Okay, now that we've gone through the swatches, before we jump into the lipsticks, I do want to zoom you in to show you what I'm wearing on my eye today. So I've got several colors on my eye going on. So on the, let's see, in the crease, I have the shade, I was going to say Culture because that's the one that is everyone's using right now. No, I have Thick, which is that brighter orange shade. I have that in my crease. I deepened it up a little bit with Revenge and Played Out. Those two, I mixed them together. So dab in one, dab in the other, kind of go back and forth. I did kind of a halo eye with those two shades. So the outer and inner portion of the lid. And then in the middle, I do have the green shade, which is called IE. On the lower lash line, I do have the shade 14, which is that blue shade. And then on the inner corner, I have got Unbothered, which is this shade right here. So let me zoom you in, and that way I can show you and walk you through this one more time. So here we go. I've got Thick, which is the brighter orange. Outer and inner portion of the lid, I have Played Out and Revenge mixed together. On the middle portion of the lid, I have IE, which is that green shade. And then on the lower lash line, I have the blue shade, which is called 14. The inner corner right here, I have Unbothered, which is that kind of, it is a really kind of off-white pearly type shade. It stands out so much. I love it. But that's what that looks like. On the eyes. So with that, let me zoom you out and I'll give you thoughts on this before I take you into the lipsticks. So first off, the foiled type shades are some of the softest I have come across, not only from Colourpop, but just in general. They are so buttery smooth to the touch. They almost like melt on your finger when you touch the pan. That is especially, in my opinion, unusual for Colourpop because I have not come across shadows this soft and smooth with this brand. I think the brand puts out some very good shadows. It's just they have never come across some that are that soft. That being said, some of the mattes are a little bit more stiff, and I was thinking packed in my head. So they're a little stiff, a little packed in the pan, a little bit dry to the touch. I have not found that that affects the performance of the shadow. I have found the mattes to blend in very easily, very quickly, not a whole lot of effort or a whole lot of work, which is nice because the last thing you want to do is to have issues going on that are going to frustrate you and you keep having to blend and blend and blend. These blend very nicely. So then also I have applied some of these shades with my finger and then also with a brush so that I can see which I like better because sometimes these types of shades just apply better with the finger. You can pack on more product. I have found with this that the product or the color applies just as beautifully with a brush as it does my finger, just as intensely, which I love because that means I have the option to use either or. There are some that really only stand out when you use your finger, not so much the case with this, and that's because I have not used them wet. Dry, they apply so pigmented, so intense that I can't even imagine how they apply wet, and I've used this already several times, have loved every single look I have come up with this, and I'm loving using these shades. So for me, this one is an absolute Dazzled. I will say, I think I've said before, for me, the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe, I'm not huge on Morphe products, or Morphe eyeshadows, I guess I should say, but for me, the Jaclyn Hill palette is almost like a different type of quality. I love that palette. It performs so well. And I feel the same way about this. Not that I'm not crazy about Colourpop because I really like a lot of their stuff. I just think this is on another level. They took this to the next level. The quality in here is incredible. And the fact that this was $23 blows my mind. So the packaging, incredible. The product inside, amazing. And so this is an absolute Dazzled. If you can get this, if you can get your hands on this, if they do a restock, or I have not heard if they're going to put this at Ulta. I do know that some Ultas now carry Colourpop as well, so not sure if that's going to make its way there, but if you do have the opportunity to pick this up, then jump on it. So the next things I want to show you are the lipsticks. Now actually this is the first time that I have used Colourpop's Lux formula, what are they called? Lux Lipstick. It's the first time I've used this formula. I've used Colourpop liquid lipsticks in the past. Their matte, their ultra matte lippy is way too drying. It just flakes off of my lips. It just sucks the moisture out of my lips. So I really don't tend to buy a whole lot of those. I mean, I got a few at the beginning and that really was it. Their others are not that bad on my lips as far as moisture goes. These are so these are $7 each, and they feel so luxurious for being such an inexpensive lipstick. You've probably seen these before. It's got like it's a rose gold bullet, and it's got stars on it. Really, really pretty. So you do know probably which shades she released. And let's see. Okay, I'm like, I don't remember it being called that. Okay, so let me swatch them for you. I'm wearing Come On Sis on my lips today. But she does have, as I have like a hair on one of them, 3 shades. One is a more peachy shade. So this one's called Oouuuu. And these, I have found that the formula to these is on par with something I would find higher end at Sephora. And I honestly didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be one of those where you put it on and it lasts all of 5 minutes and slides around and then all of a sudden it's gone. I didn't know if it was going to be super drying. I just didn't know what to expect since I had never used them before. The next one is Come On Sis, which is the one I am wearing on my lips today. If you have not seen the bullets to these or the inside product, it also has little stars on the actual lipstick. Super cute. Very detailed. Again, for $7, that's a lot of detail going into this. Very, very creamy. Doesn't dry down, of course, doesn't claim to. I do find that after maybe a couple of hours, it significantly fades, but it doesn't fade unevenly. It doesn't look patchy and gross. It definitely does not get crusty. And it fades in such a way that I still have a tint on my lips that's very, very flattering. So there is Oouuuu. There is Come On Sis, and now let me give you the third swatch, which is Quickie. And this one's going to be the most nude of the 3. And I love these types of nudes. This is what it looks like. And I have also found that these shades that she released are really flattering for a whole lot of skin tones. And I think that's awesome. Because honestly, she could have released things that maybe were only suitable or flattering to ladies with deeper skin tones, and that's perfectly fine. You know, this is her collection, and so she could have released what she wanted to, but she wanted to release apparently something that was very flattering on a whole level of skin tones, because I am a light to light medium, and all 3 of these look so incredible on my skin tone, even this one. So the nude is not too brown, not too rich brown. Those tend to darken up my face a little bit and just doesn't look flattering on me, because it would look flattering on a lady of deeper skin tone. But all 3 of these, to me, are shades that can be used on a very wide spectrum of skin tones, and I really appreciate that. I think that's awesome. Again, the bundle was $21 for all 3 lipsticks. That being said, let me zoom you in. You can kind of see I have been wearing this for about, I don't know, hour and 15 minutes at this point, and it is still going strong. I did not reapply when we got home, so I reapplied after we had lunch, but that was in the car. We still had to make a stop. We've come home, done stuff since then, and so it's been about a good hour and 15 minutes at least, and this is still going pretty strong. Still looks very full coverage, very soft and emollient on the lips, and it doesn't look crusty. I don't have like an ugly line right there on the inner portion of the lip that looks super gross. So you can already tell I am dazzled by these as well. This collection blew my mind. I did not pick up either of the highlighters. They were a little too deep for my skin tone, which is totally fine. No big deal there. I am imagining they are awesome because I love the Kylie Cosmetics loose highlighters, and I'm imagining it's along the same lines. And especially for such an inexpensive price. I think it was like $14 for the little container of product, which seemed to contain quite a bit, especially again if it's anything like the Kylie Cosmetics ones. So I do regret not picking up the gloss. I don't know, I just thought, you know what, I don't need another clear gloss, but it ended up looking really pretty when I watched some videos on the gloss, or watched some, you know, I was trying to look at people's reviews to see, okay, do I need to pick up the gloss or not? But by the time I looked, it was already sold out, which is totally fine. So I am really happy I picked up what I did. Again, stay tuned in case they restock this so you can jump on these. These are so incredible. I picked up this whole, the 3 lipsticks and the eyeshadow palette for 44 bucks. Again, unheard of if you go to Ulta or Sephora. So total dazzled in my book. I love this collection. Okay guys, before I let you go, I want to give you some encouragement in the form of a scripture verse for the day, and today's comes from Deuteronomy 4:29, and it says, "You will seek the Lord your God, and you will find him if you seek him with all your heart and with all your soul." Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Again, not trying to put it out there so that it is an impossibility for you to get your hands on this, because I know it's right now not available, but because they tend to do restocks, keep your eyes peeled just in case. Alright guys, take care. I will see you in the very next video. Bye everybody.